Recognize the gentlelady from Connecticut for her 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, and thank you, Madam Secretary, for being here. I do have to say, I feel a little left out. I didn't get a call yesterday.
It's not yesterday. I've been working on it all week, where my office reached out to offices who responded, and we set up a time to have a call. And there were some offices who didn't respond. But listen, I'm glad to give you my cell number, as I do always, and you can always give me a call.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. I do want to just touch on the issue of Job Corps. I know I'm not asking you about the pending litigation or the efforts by the judge to stop the elimination of Job Corps, but as you well know, 45,000 students are enrolled in this program. High school dropouts, homeless young adults, young parents, students with learning disabilities, students aging out of foster care, many of which have no home to go to. I heard you say in your opening that you were working with the Department of Education, which is puzzling to me because we had the secretary here yesterday who said her final mission is to, downsize and virtually eliminate the Department of Education. So my question is, what plans, if any, do you have to protect these students and keep them safe? I heard you talk about different instances from violence, homelessness, addiction, all of the things that literally made Job Corps attractive.
Absolutely. In regards to the Department of Education and working with the Secretary McMahon, as well as many of the other secretaries, it has been through executive order that we address the workforce education system because they are our future workforce. So I will work with the other secretaries.
I mean specifically this population because
so
a lot of the other ones are hypothetical, but
for sure
there is a direct conversation about the elimination of Job Corps. I guess my question is, then what? If this, then this. What happens next for these children or these young people?
Yep. So I want to work with Congress. As I mentioned, we have put a pause. Yes, we did. But I cannot eliminate Job Corps. That is up to Congress to determine what is the best programming and programmatic effects that we can have on our workforce. I know that it is subject to litigation, therefore, I can't tell you how much I am frustrated by that because I want to be able to work with Congress. But because of that, I cannot go into any details on this. And if there is an exemption or if there is a halt in this litigation, I am glad to update the office. What I can say is I'm confident that, Congresswoman, you have most likely read the report, because I can talk about the public report.
Well, no, I mean, I actually do believe that you care deeply about this.
Absolutely.
I believe that. I guess what I'm asking you, and you can't go into it today, is that there is consideration for these young people, that housing, job training, transportation, all of these things, because at 17, their life is not over.
That's right.
And we could put things in place to ensure that that happens.
They are our future. I am committed to this population, always have been for my 30 years of service. I have kids, I understand that. I want the best for this population because we need the skilled workforce and they deserve it. And they deserve Congress and the Department of Labor and every other agency head to work on this issue. But specifically, because of this, I can't go into what's...
No, I understand. I mean...
I appreciate you understanding that, and I'm committed to...
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but just as a reminder, there is no law that keeps you from disclosing information to Congress about pending litigation. I mean, all of us are aware of the Privacy Act of 1974. We all have to have people sign privacy release forms when we reach out to them as member of Congress. But I don't want to belabor that point and spend too much of my time on that because you've made your position clear. I will talk about some data privacy because there's been much concern about DOJ accessing private information, Social Security. How is that, Social Security numbers, how is that stored? What is that information going to be used for? And I think that's especially concerning for me in light of reporting this weekend that the Trump administration was contracting with Palantir, co-founder of Republican mega donor Peter Thiel, to build a database of private information on American citizens. In light of that reporting, can you tell us, has the Department of Labor shared any information like this with DOJ, and what processes are in place to employ that the private data of U.S. citizens is not subject to being abused by private organizations or corporations like Peter Thiel or Elon Musk?
Sure. I don't know what you're referencing on this report. I don't know what you're referencing there. But for the Department of Labor employees, which is inclusive of government efficiency employees that work for the Department of Labor, They are subject to the same rules and regulations that all Department of Labor employees are, where they are not allowed to share any private information, and they are subject to any of the safety and security of that private information under the Department of Labor regulations, and I will stand by that.
Thank you. My time has expired, but I will get a copy of that. It's a news article for your team so that you can review it at a later date. I yield back.
Thank you, Congressman.
I thank the gentlelady. I now recognize for